Thokozani, Thokozani, Thokozani. Thokozani bogogo. Thokozani zinhlondlo. Thokozani, hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's not your first time tuning in, but if it's your first time, hello. Hopefully you too will get to be part of this channel by liking, subscribing and commenting down below. Not forgetting to share on all your social media platforms. So for those who don't know me, my name is Athi-Lilitha, also known as Kukhanye amongst the many other names, Zedlozi and Nazo. And so last week I'd actually asked on Instagram in terms of, okay, like what would you guys like me to upload? And so I had two options actually, a Sangoma try on haul, or actually a vlog where I get to show you guys when I am emceeing. And so fortunately the emceeing vlog got to win. However, I realized that because I was emceeing yesterday, so I then realized that it would be best for me to let a week pass, just so that Usoteko can get to upload the pictures, celebrate it with abantu on social media then the following week. So what I decided to do is, I decided to speak about one of the topics that are closest to my heart. It is actually, I will be merging two topics, which will be scammer alert, beware of the scammers, and also how to choose uGobela. So many people who have come to consult, from me, or many people on social media, people who meet me is dadweni, would ask me as to what is the best way or how is the best way to choose uGobela, because I think the more favored, not favored, or the more, what's this word, I don't want to say common, but ndizayithenina because xa ke ngoku isilungu singaphumi kufuneke kuphume isiXhosa, but eyaziwayo, or the one thing that most people are familiar with, yila ntlobo yokuthonga. Because obviously back in the day, uGobela wakho umumthonga, you would have a dream saying, okay, iya kwindlu enje nanje 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 uzofika kukho umuntu. And so, now abantu find themselves pressured into bangabana, okay, ndinayo le ngulo, I want to go, into initiation, I want to accept my calling, but then how do I get to choose uGobela? And not neglecting the fact that, there are many people with stories who have undergone the journey with abantu abangenamava okuthwasa, with abantu who do not have experience, with abantu who aren't well trained, who aren't well exposed to the industry. And so I realized that it's quite important for me to just give some of my pointers. Obviously I won't ever be able to put get into on the table on YouTube, because things are ever changing, things are ever evolving, and therefore umnanditeta apho ndingathetha khona ndiphele khona. So sorry, just to give you a bit of insight in terms of like my story, uGobela, I never dreamt of uGobela, and this is what I always say. I was very fortunate. It was like a family friend, and so I went to the family friend and I had spoken about some of the things that are happening to me, uyabo. And then ndahamba consult. And so what I would do is, after consulting, I would then go back to her ndithethe naye about some of the dreams that I'm having, consultation. And I just felt this connection with her, I felt this connection with her, and I had then made an abrupt decision. Like it wasn't well thought. I made an abrupt decision, and I was like, okay, and the one thing that I did at that particular time was I prayed ndaphahla ndathi bantu basekhaya, this is the person that I would like for ba andilidishe kule journey, you know. I like her, I feel connected to her, and I really do have a feeling that says uzondiqhuba kahle in terms of uzondifundisa everything that I need to be taught, you know, in terms of spiritual alignment and etc etc etc. So after I prayed, I didn't waste any time, ndahamba ndayongena. Unfortunately, things worked in my favor, because I don't want to lie, when process, I started having dreams that were affirming the fact that you know, I was meant to be there, because there were dreams, like if there was something that was happening particularly to her, I would dream of it. And so it was cemented by abantu basekhaya, but mna ndazikhethela, you know, because of the connection and because of the relationship that we had. So some of the methods that are there, the most famous one, kukuthonga, you know, uzamthonga uGobela wakho, and umthonge into mangabana, okay, this is where you're supposed to go, and this is where your healing lies. But I think what people don't understand, that into yedlozi is not definite. I always say it's not black and white, you know, black or white. It has a lot of gray areas, because we can't ever articulate it to the T. So you'd find that in instances where you would go to uGobela wakho ube phayana, but ungahlali ixesha elide, because you know, there was only a short period of time that you were supposed to be there. You know, there was only a specific reason why you were supposed to be there. Umsebenzi othile ebekusuppose uyawenza and uqabile, and therefore you know, outside of that, but now I'm not saying about you know, I'm not talking about people abangakwazi unyamezela. I'm not talking about people who you know, who don't want to leave their old selves behind and focus on the journey and focus on all that the journey, you know, brings. I'm not talking about people like that, people who will give up because they feel like it is too much. No, I'm speaking about abantu abalalwa lithongo bathi sebephayana kufumaniseke into bangabana no funeke bephumile. And so so that's the first way. The second way is through consultation. So uyahamba uyovumisa uvumiseke, and then uveke into bangabana unengolo. And so from that, obviously consultation, then kuba ke wena uyithandile lento, you know, that you heard, okanye, you know, not necessarily uyithanda, but uye wacacelwa, you know, it unraveled a lot of things. It brought a lot of things into light. Uyabo uqonde ke ba, okay, you know, mandingene apha, you know, because ke sendifumene yonke into esendifumene. You can go ke uthwase through referrals, in terms of, obviously, if you know me and uqonde ba hayi man gogo, you know, ndinengolo, and therefore ndifuna ukuthwasa, you know, ndifuna ukuthwasa, therefore obviously ke mna, you know, you trust me, so I could make a referral, because mhlawumbi uqonda uba no awufuni ukuthwasa kum, so ndizawuthi kuwe ba okay, no hayi ke, you know, nansi address, go to this place. Or it could happen that you come to me, okanye uthonga mnane, but the one person oza kuphatha ngabazali bam, because kukho isiko loba after you have graduated edlozini funeka ulobole ngabantwana bakho bokuqala. So how that works is that ewe uza kum, ewe spiritually ndim umamakho, but the trainings, imfundiso, you know, majority of the processes uzawuziqhubela ekhaya, because umthetho wobungoma is that after uthwasile funeke uhambe uyonikela empandeni ngabantwana bakho. So in that case ke ngoku, it doesn't necessarily shift who your Gobela is, but you know, you're just directed, or you're following the path yobungoma. I don't know if I'm making sense, but another way, okay, like I'm trying to think of another way. There's so many, because I had said Moskuku Tonga, I had said it's through consulting, I had said it's through being referred, but some of the pointers, the whole point I made this video is because there's certain things that I wanted to highlight, and understanding very well that we live in an era of social media, but imnendifuna unintlovisa kuyo is that you can't be quick to make decisions when it comes to issues of spirituality. And by that I mean into bangabana, you know, I've had many clients that I don't want to say I could have taken advantage of, but in simple terms, I could have taken advantage of. Let me explain it in this sense. You know, because there's a number of us on social media, it has taken away lando yakdala, where umntu takes the initiative yohamba ayonqonqoza endumbeni. And not to say nangoku when you're sending me a DM, you're not taking an initiative, but iyahlukile. You know, amaxhego kudala, efamilini kudala, you know, families would have isiko loba xa behamba beyova indaba, you know, xa behamba beyovumisa bagqithe enkundleni kuqala, you know, they inform abantu abalela ukuthula bakokwabo that siyahamba ngoku, you know, siya kogqirha bethu, siya kwabantu abanxumeleleneyo nani, you know, we're going to someone who can help unpack certain things about elikhaya. Therefore masithi xa sifika kulamzi sifike umoya wethu enxumelelana nelathongo. And so that also made things flow better, because it, you know, in as much as sivumisa, you can feel umntu opreparishileyo for a consultation nomntu oveske wavumbuluka wahamba wayoconsult. And so now what I can say is that, so I could have easily taken advantage of them because they were coming to me at their most vulnerable state. Bafika sebe desperate, akho reasoning, you know, anything that could result in us having a proper conversation where they actually get to take in. So noba ndingathi emntwini jump, then umntu would say how high. And that is why sibhaqa abantu abacinga bathwasile but abathwasanga, you know, and it's so sad. And so when it comes to issues zogobela, I think you ought to be aware of the fact that there are so many scammers out there, and we cannot run away from the fact that kwasezigcaweni there's scammers, emisebenzini there's scammers, you know. So obviously nasethongweni there will be people who will scam you. And I think coming from a place where I have been fortunate, I have been exposed to the fact that there are different organizations. For instance, I am under uAnma. You know, it's an organization where mhlambe ndenza umzekelo kwenzeke into endumbeni, and I am not at fault. I am safe. I have lawyers, you know. Yafundiswa. There's trainings that we go to, that we get to go to. There's trainings, there's workshops, there's a number of things that we get to get trained on and get certificates on. So we are well exposed. We understand very well that itwasa masti litile, itwasa masti litye ukutya okunye nutrition, so vegetables and all sorts of those things. And so that is why it is important to understand and know for a fact that there are organizations out there that amagqirha akuwo. For instance, when you come consult kum, uyakwazi ukuthi into bangabana Thokoza gogo, are you part of any organization? Because that is to work in your favor as well, so that xa kuthi kanti wenzeke into ndenza umzekelo ubuye egqirheni, then ube nawe usafe. And also, I think in choosing uGobela, in choosing people to lead you, in finding yourself needing a spiritual mentor, zange nasemdudweni lakhona iyeza eliphilisa, where you actually need to have a sexual relationship with your mentor. There is no such a thing. I think out of all the practices that I've undergone, out of all the books that have been written about ubungoma, about African spirituality, there is nothing that speaks about you getting healing through sexual favors. That is no way to heal. I think also when it comes to any form of abuse, actually, that is not the way to learn, and that is not the way to get you to understand yourself and have that, relationship with itongo lako nabantu bakokwenu. I think also not being too involved. So this one is very tricky, because you find people saying that, okay, now I would rather attend, yabo, ndibone, but that has a way of distorting your vision. It has a way of ukuphazamisa, because now you can find yourself seeking advice from amagqirha amaninzi, and that's not the way to go. Like, that is not the way to go. I tell people all the time, you can't switch from eli gqirha to eli gqirha to eli gqirha, because you'll end up not knowing what's what, because where we do things the same but as funny. We can be trained by the same trainer, but asiphume thongweni, the only thing that we'll get to do efanayo ngamasiko, but our line of thinking, our reasoning, our way of doing things won't be the same, because asiphethwanga ngabantu abafanayo. So you're gonna find yourself umnandi city qabudaka, then you find someone else saying jingecingweni, then you're gonna find someone else say ambolala phansi komthi. And so when there's no continuation and there's no succession plan, then awuzode ubone into icacileyo, because wena kaloku ngulo utulatulayo. So I think when it comes to the topic of ukhetha uGobela, there can never ever be like a strict guide. But what I want to say to you today is, number one, if umhlawumbe umthongile, it doesn't mean that usenophelela phayana ugqibe phayana. You cannot plan into zethongo ude uzigqibe, because ziyazilawula. If umthongile, follow through with ithongo lakho and go to apho uthongwe khona. Listen to your dreams. Listen to what your dreams are saying, because sometimes your dreams might not necessarily show you ngubani ofuneke kuthwasisile, but they may direct you to who is supposed to be your leader. And mhlambe, when you listen to your dreams, mhlambe kuculwa ingoma ethile mhlambe ethongweni lakho, then you find me singing the same song, certain things like that. when you're about to choose uGobela, you need to be able to discern, find yourself in a mizuzu wedwa. Most importantly, have a solid relationship with abantu bakowenu. When you are going to choose uGobela, you need to you need to be comfortable with self. You need to understand self. And by understand self, I don't mean into bangabana understand lento yenzekayo kuwe, but izazi, zimamele. I listened to myself. I listened to myself. I listened to the conversations that uGobela and I were having. I was seeking for knowledge. I was seeking for growth. I was seeking for healing. I was seeking for direction. And so when I finally met someone who reciprocated the same energy, that's when I knew, okay, nangu uGobela wam. And so I think what I can say also is that be careful not to now want to be like uGobela basithi, the social media. That didn't come out right. Nzayibeka kanjani? I'm like I want to unpack this. I think yes. I think the reason why I'm city because I don't want to exclude myself. I share things through social media. I share I share I share. But I think the one thing that I can say hurts me the most is how we're moving towards losing the sacredness of amasiko etu, where you'd find that you get a lay person telling you about the processes of ubungoma, and there's a reason why kutiwa ezamfundiso ziyafihlwa, because kunezizathu that obviously I cannot speak about kule video, but there's a reason. So in as much as unengulo, in as much as you're trying to learn about lengulo, so graspa kakhulu sometimes ezinye izinto that are said ku social media, because when you get to the real journey, that's when you get to realize undoqo wale calling. So but when it comes to choosing uGobela, you need to there's a lot of character traits that you need to have, such as patience, because you need to understand that now you are moving into a new home. You'll be moving into a new home. You will be dealing with someone that doesn't know you fully, someone that doesn't know Athi, someone that doesn't know a background ka Athi. So it's a matter of understanding that we're going to have to build a relationship and we're going to have to start from scratch, where it's going to take a while for me to actually, enlighten for ba ezinye izinto zi-unlearnwe. You can go into it with the mindset to about, okay, I'm here to change certain things, but change does not come overnight. You need to be very gradual and you need to be very strategic. So those are some of the pointers that I think, should help you. Decide into bangabani, okay, ndiyangena entwasweni. But I highlight again, do not be desperate. Take time out, think things through, assess, phahla, tandaza, ask for enlightenment, and also pray for the journey ahead. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below if there's something you want me to elaborate on, and share on all your social media platforms. On Facebook, I am Athi-Lilitha bakhona ke phinde ngabikho, but I am a constant on Instagram @_Athi-Jumbu. I'm also an MC if you'd like me to, MC kwi-events zenu. Obviously, I won't get to bengichaza indaba zabantu okanye ndixelele into zenu. You can contact me on 066 269 5819. Thank you so much for watching. Kukhanye kwande ezimpilweni zenu. Thokozani.